In our yearbook, she signed it saying, "I hope we are friends for the rest of our lives." I think we truly would have been friends forever.
That's all for this edition of Dateline. We'll see you again Thursday at 10, 9 Central, and of course I'll see you each weeknight for NBC Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt. For all of us at NBC News, good night.
Live on NBC 12, this is Newswatch 12 at 10.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Jukage. The 48-hour-long manhunt for the main mass shooter is over. The suspect was found dead in a wooded area near Lewiston. Tonight, the body of 40-year-old Robert Card was found. He's suspected of shooting and killing 18 people and injuring 13 others at a bowling alley and bar in Lewiston Wednesday night. This morning, officials recovered Card's cell phone and discovered a letter at his residence which indicated Card did not expect to be alive when he was found. Friday night, authorities lifted the shelter-in-place order for neighboring communities that had been in place since Wednesday night. The youngest shooting victim was 14 years old, and the oldest victim was 76. This mass shooting was the 565th in the U.S. this year, and so far the deadliest. Switching gears now, Conrad, temperatures are dropping outside. How's it looking for the weekend?
Yes, we were in the 50s earlier today. Now we're back in the 30s, but it feels like we are back in the 20s, guys. So bundle up. This cold front did come by, and of course it was windy, and it's still a little bit breezy right now. So whatever temperature actually is outside, a -10. That's exactly what we got going on now. Take a look into North Dakota, though. Bismarck, 15 degrees. They have around 2 feet of snow in some spots on the ground. So incredible stuff. Definitely record-breaking, a little bit later than average for what they are used to. Temperature-wise, though, for our area, 37 degrees here in town, some mid-30s all the way up into the UP, even close to 40 degrees by the Wausau area. So everybody around Wisconsin has really cooled off from the 50s in the morning back to the 30s. Please slow down, though. Be careful. There's a little bit of fog in the area. 7 miles in Anago, 7 miles in Tomahawk. Those are the visibilities right now, with some patchy, dense fog all over the area. Of course, cloud cover as well, and a couple of flurries that will be possible overnight tonight. Temperatures, though, really chilly, hovering at around 28 degrees, but it will be breezy, so that feels like temperature will be in the teens. So bundle up out there, folks, tonight. Jessica?
October is National Bullying Awareness Month, which is an opportunity to encourage the nation to prevent childhood bullying and promote kindness. A school in Lac du Flambeau decided to raise awareness. Lac du Flambeau Public School has been participating in Bullying Prevention Spirit Week for years now. This year, the school invited 3 guest speakers to help inspire students. One of the 3 was former Green Bay Packers running back Dorsey Levens. He says nobody deserves to get bullied.
But I was one of the guys, in high school who it didn't sit well with my soul. So I didn't let people do it. And I try to tell some of the kids here, especially some of the athletes, because they're influencers and other kids look up to them. If they tell people to stop, it's going to stop.
According to the CDC, bullying can result in physical injury, social and emotional distress, self-harm, and even death. Ben Fleek is the principal of Lac du Flambeau Public Schools. He says their mission is to make sure students feel safe at school.
In order to do that, we need to be intentional as far as how we structure things and really do our part when we become aware of certain incidents that potentially could be bullying, that we're doing whatever it takes to address it and make sure all of our students feel safe and welcome here.
The Super Bowl champion will be following up with the school in about a month to see how things are going. Fleek says hopes that the students will never forget the lessons they learned today. The Wausau Police Department and Marathon County Sheriff's Department are looking for 31-year-old Walter Lee Calloway Jr. Calloway is wanted for 2 Marathon County felony arrest warrants, as well as charges stemming from a more recent domestic violence incident. Anyone with knowledge of Calloway's whereabouts are encouraged to call the Marathon County Sheriff's Office at 715-261-7795. Waupun Correctional Institution is facing a class action lawsuit for allegedly failing to meet the needs of inmates. The lawsuit was filed yesterday in the Eastern District Court of Wisconsin. It alleges that inmate care is grossly inadequate and creates risk of injury and death. The facility has been in lockdown for almost 7 months, causing inmate movements to be limited, delays to medical treatment, and unsanitary conditions. The lockdown is believed to have caused at least one suicide in the facility due to a lack of mental health services. A Wisconsin judge has ruled that the GOP-controlled Senate's vote to fire the top elections official has no legal effect. Today, a Dane County judge ruled that Megan Wolf will continue to serve as head of the Wisconsin Elections Commission. Lawmakers are now barred from ousting her while a lawsuit plays out. Senate Republicans voted in September to fire Wolf, despite objections from Democrats and the legislature's nonpartisan attorneys. With Halloween just around the corner, it's important for parents and trick-or-treaters to remember how everyone should stay safe on Halloween. First responders are telling parents to check all candy for strange objects, open packaging before their children eat it. Rhinelander Police Officer Claire Herfindahl says to make sure that all treats look normal.
If you're going to have candy while you're walking around, just make sure that an adult checks it, just to make sure everything's okay, not anything wrong with it.
Officer Herfindahl also added that many Halloween costumes are black, so wear something reflective or carry a flashlight to help drivers see trick-or-treaters. Several cities are hosting trick-or-treating events tomorrow afternoon. The city of Rhinelander will be hosting a downtown trick-or-treating event at local businesses from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. The Hodag Dome will host Halloween Family Night from 3 to 5 tomorrow. Tomahawk will be holding a fall festival with trick-or-treating from 1 to 3. And Anago will have their first candy collection event in downtown for kids tomorrow. Citywide trick-or-treating will be held Tuesday night in Minocqua from 4 to 6 p.m. Rhinelander, Tomahawk, Wausau, and Merrill will run from 4 to 7 p.m. If you plan on passing out candy, keep your porch lights on. Fall is touching the trees throughout the Northwoods. Coming up, we'll hear what's causing the burst of colors. That's after Weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
Get up to $200 in rebates on Goodyear tires during the Factory Direct Tire event at Sherrill Tire and Service Center with a Goodyear credit card subject to credit approval. The Factory Direct Tire event at Sherrill Tire and Service Center through November 3rd. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Save on your next painting project with 11% off everything in Menards. Freshen up your home with Dutch Boy Forever interior paint. It features Arm & Hammer odor-eliminating technology. A gallon starts at $29.98 after rebate. Platinum Plus is an ultra-premium interior paint and primer in one that offers a scrubbable finish that covers in one coat in over 800 colors. Pick up a gallon today starting at $36.98 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Choose FlexBuy on Bronco Sport with 3.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $500 FlexBuy and $1,000 open bonus cash.
How many times have you searched the same thing? What to make for dinner, kid-friendly meals, easy party food. Stop searching and look no further than the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with new recipes every day on Newswatch 12 Today and Newswatch 12 at 6. The Test Kitchen has you covered for every meal, snack, and craving. Now, how many ways can you say,
ooh, it's so good?
Mr. Food Test Kitchen, brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers and Rhinelander Cafe and Pub.
It's the Factory Direct Tire event at Sherrill Tire and Service Center. Through November 3rd, get up to $200 in rebates on Goodyear tires with a Goodyear credit card subject to credit approval. The Factory Direct Tire event at Sherrill Tire. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
We made it. It's the weekend. Well, technically in an hour and a half. Weather-wise, though, it is chilly outside, folks. Finally, cold air has rolled on in all the way from the north. Remember that snow Bismarck was getting in the last 3 days? Now it's finally gone. Everything is finally starting to improve. Snow is starting to melt over there. Slowly, though, because a lot of the temperatures are well below freezing. For our area, a different story. We did have a couple of rain showers the last few days. Actually, over 2 inches of rain the last 5 days. Incredible stuff. 5 days in a row, we've had at least a trace of rain, and now things will slowly start to improve as cold air has rolled on in. For tonight, though, into tomorrow and tomorrow night, a couple of flurries will be possible. This will be very light, just a few flurries here and there. No accumulations, maybe at most a trace, but we are mainly going to stay dry and only just a few flurries falling from the sky. Of course, cold air has rolled in. This cold front, look at this, going all the way up north. Very, very interesting. In Canada, we're talking 60s. A bunch of my buddies are definitely enjoying the 60s and 70s, actually, they're having right now. Not for long, though. This cold front's going to continue to go from the Chicago area right now all the way to the East Coast and down south as well. So the whole country is actually really going to cool on off. Temperatures right now in our area, 37 degrees here in town, 36 in Eagle River, down south by the Wausau area, Mosinee, hovering at around 40 degrees. But take a look just west of town. Phillips, we're talking near freezing temperatures right now. So things are going to start to get a little bit slippery. So slow down overnight tonight, folks, as you are driving, if you have any plans outdoors. Temperature-wise, though, these are high temperatures, not our lows, are high temperatures, actually. Close to freezing Monday into Tuesday, then a little bit warmer. We start to rebound into around 40 degrees. Not much of a rebound, but still anything around 40 with 30s this week will feel nice. It is a bit breezy still. We had some really windy conditions earlier today. Now the winds are starting to calm down just a little bit, but still a bit on the breezy end. And it goes at 10 miles per hour. Mosinee at 13. Down south, Medford is at 15. Here in town, not as bad. We are at a solid 5 to 10 mile per hour sustained wind. But as cold temperatures roll in, of course, feels like temperature is back. Our feels like graphic is finally back, and 20s are showing up. So that's exactly what we're feeling on our skin. For tonight, though, our actual air temperature that thermometers are going to be reading, 28 degrees. But as those breezy conditions continue, that feels like temperature will feel like we're back in the teens, folks. So bundle up out there for that morning commute tomorrow. Our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show a couple of snow chances possible. Some flurries by Halloween. Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. Leaves change color every fall. A local forester says it happens when trees sense the days getting shorter. Ricky Keller is a forester with the Wisconsin DNR stationed in Rhinelander. He said that every year when the days become shorter, it sends a signal to the trees that winter is coming. Because of that, the green-colored chlorophyll inside the leaves start breaking down.
And when that breaks down, other compounds in the leaves, the anthocyanins that are kind of a red color, and the carotenoids that are more of a yellow or orange color become visible once that green color from the chlorophyll breaks down.
Keller said trees drop their leaves because they need to conserve resources like water because water's not available when the ground's frozen. Veterans and community members met at a coffee shop in Eagle River. On Thursday, the Northland Pines School District organized community coffee chats to connect with residents. This month, local vets were invited to chat with district staff. Upcoming Veterans Day plans were a big part of that conversation.
Just a lot of veterans getting together that don't normally see each other and having some coffee, having some treats, and see what's going on out there in the community.
More coffee chats are planned around the Northland Pines District in the coming months. The next one is scheduled for November 15th at the Land O'Lakes Public Library. 3 Lakes held a special send-off for 2 of its cross-country runners going to state. And it's Friday Night Football. We'll have a look at who won the latest round of the state playoffs.
No matter what kind of store you visit, no matter what kind of tobacco you ask for, it's illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone under 21. So remember to bring your ID. It will get checked. Because in Wisconsin, 21 means 21. No matter what.
The next generation of streaming is here. Introducing Spectrum One Stream with Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds, advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security on your devices, Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data, and now TV with the all-new Zumo Stream Box. Get Spectrum One Stream with Internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi, a free unlimited Spectrum Mobile line, and the Zumo Stream Box, free when you add Spectrum TV. Call 833-976-4999. With Spectrum and Zumo, all your favorites are brought together in one place. Use the voice remote to search across live TV, on-demand movies and shows, and the most popular streaming apps to watch what you want faster and easier than ever. It's streaming simplified. Get Spectrum One Stream with Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, mobile, and now TV. Go to spectrum.com/stream, a Spectrum store, or call 833-976-4999.
It's Ford Truck Month. Time to defeat any task in a Ford F-150 with all the capability, productivity, and technology of Ford F-Series. America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. So get to Ford Truck Month and get into a built Ford tough truck.
Ain't nobody stopping me.
Now, lease a new Ford F-150 STX for just $399 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford dealer.
Coming up on your Monday,
we'll be joined by Kate Hyman for another edition of Race Watch 12. And your full Weather Watch 12 forecast indicating some very chilly temperatures that are here to stay. More when you tune in on your Monday from 5 to 7 a.m.
Athletes compete for a variety of reasons, but most aim to be the best in the sport they're competing in. Today, Three Lakes High School held a ceremony to send off some of their best athletes to state. The school showed their support for Nolan Waltz and Ethan Patrikas, who were two cross-country athletes from Three Lakes to qualify for the cross-country state meet in Wisconsin Rapids.
I think it's a really nice way to represent our school if we can do that, like through our actions and the way we race, our work ethic.
Ethan and Nolan say carbs and a good night's rest are some of the best ways to prepare for competition.
I like to have a lot of pasta and noodles before I actually go into the race. I like to do a lot of stretching the night before, and I like to get nice, easy 10, 12 hours of sleep and a nice slow run in first.
Ethan and Nolan will be competing at noon tomorrow with other races continuing throughout the day. Good luck to them. We'll have Friday Night Blitz after the break, but first, here's today's Big Old Fish.
Newswatch 12's Big Old Fish is brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Well, we know fish swim in schools, but do y'all know why? Well, it's because they can't walk, of course. Anyway, let's start off this week's Big Old Fish with Steve Maravich, who caught this beautiful 28.5-inch walleye. Now, he didn't give any other information, but he didn't really have to. 28.5 inches, walleye? Yeah, that's a big old fish. Way to go, Steve. Keep on reeling them in. Next up on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Tom Barnett. Now, he caught this beautiful 41-inch, 13-pound northern on a crappie pole using 6-pound test in a minnow. Well, that's just downright impressive, Tom. Way to go. That is one big old fish. Keep on reeling them in. And finally on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Bill Jensen, who caught this absolute tank of a muskie that measured in at 45.5 inches and 24.2 pounds. Not only is that one beautifully marked fish, but it is, in fact, a big old fish. So way to go, Bill. Keep on reeling them in. All right, fishermen and women, make sure to keep those trophy pictures coming. All the information you need to be in a future episode of Big Old Fish and win a Northern Taxidermy fish meal is on our website, WJFW.com. And remember, anglers, fish on.
Where do you get your important information? Do you trust your neighbor? Your community newsletter? What about your friends? The opinions of those we trust are important to consider. But when it comes to Medicare, everyone's needs are different. So it's important to find the coverage that best fits you. Make sure you're speaking to a Medicare professional like the licensed insurance agents at Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. With one call to Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we can help you find a Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits that can save you money and that lets you keep your doctors. With just your zip code, we can find plans in your area with the benefits you need at a cost you can afford. You may even be able to get a Medicare Advantage plan that includes many of the additional benefits that you want. But you don't get these plans automatically. Call now to find out what your friends, family, and neighbors have been talking about. You might be surprised by what you hear. The Medicare annual enrollment period is right now, and you may be eligible for a plan today. Don't wait. Call now. You only have a limited time to explore these Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans and make changes. New plans are available every year, so even if you're content with your current plan or you called last year, there may be a new 2024 plan available with additional benefits you haven't even heard about yet. The call is free and there's no obligation to enroll. Over 32 million people already have a Medicare Advantage plan. Call to find out what they're talking about. When it comes to your Medicare coverage, don't just overhear it. Hear it straight from the trusted, licensed agents at Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. The Medicare annual enrollment period is right now, and you may be eligible for a plan today.
Call 800-358-7080. That's 800-358-7080. 800-358-7080.
Goodwill starts with you when you shop the original Halloween headquarters. This season, as you get ready to open your door to mummies, princesses, and never-before-seen characters, shop Goodwill for great deals on one-of-a-kind Halloween costumes, decor, and more. Perfect for any ghoulish gathering. It's your purchases that also open doors to job training and opportunities, all while keeping items out of the landfill, making you a superhero to neighbors in our community. Goodwill starts with you.
Friday Night Blitz is brought to you by Rock Oil Refining Incorporated. Your blitz starts now.
Three Lakes and Florence are no strangers to one another. We kick off the Friday Night Blitz as two teams with state championship aspirations meet for the second time this season. For Three Lakes, a chance to redeem their lone loss is not being taken lightly. We visited the Blue Jays earlier in the week as they have long awaited a second crack at the Bobcats.
Yeah, we're excited. We saw them when they got the 1 seed in the seeding meeting, that us as a 3 seed, we were going to get another crack at some point, assuming we won that first game, and we did. We ended up winning it.
The Blue Jays have not forgotten their loss to Florence. While the first game seemingly only determined home field for the rematch, head coach Tyler Maney is not afraid to admit his team has a chip on their shoulder.
We do. You know, we're hungry. We wanted to win a conference title. We didn't get that. We know we can play better football than we played in the first game. You know, we had some mistakes, some blocking mistakes, some tackling mistakes. So we are chomping at the bit to get revenge on the Bobcats.
Accountability from the team's leaders was important after the first loss. For L.J. Terlizzi, he and his fellow Three Lakes leaders knew that they themselves could have performed better. While fully aware of the talent on the Bobcats' side, the Jays hope that mistake-free football will lead to a win.
They've got some great ball players over there, but we didn't execute as players. Like me personally, I know I didn't tackle well, and others, they'll tell you that they didn't tackle well in that game, and then just little mistakes. If we play mistake-free ball, I believe it's our game.
Three Lakes and Florence is our game of the week. Can the Blue Jays get their redemption and take down the undefeated Bobcats?
Welcome to the Friday Night Blitz. I'm Saul Meyer, and that is my partner, Will Harrelson. Will, we just saw an awesome preview for our Friday Night Blitz game of the week, Three Lakes at Florence, round 2.
So I can't tell you how excited I am for this one. I was at the first game, and it was just absolutely incredible.
Absolutely, you are correct, Will. With the undefeated Bobcats handing Three Lakes their only loss of the season.
And now the Blue Jays have a shot at redemption and can advance to the state semifinal round with a win.
And Newswatch 12's Drew Shelley had a preview of that game and was in Florence for that game with the recap.
Drew, did Three Lakes get their revenge, or did lightning strike twice and Florence advance to the next round?
Well, Saul and Will, it was a good one. Two evenly matched teams gave a big crowd plenty to cheer about. There was just one question: who would come out on top? Let's see how it all went down. the Blue Jays on the road as they are taking on the Florence Bobcats. We're going to start this one in the second quarter. It's 7-0 Three Lake. Logan Scholes breaks a tackle. He gets into the end zone. Bobcats take an 8-7 lead. But back comes Three Lakes. Tyler Janikowski takes the pass from Jared Kaufman for his second TD of the night. Blue Jays led 13-8 at the half. Florence head coach Kent Wallstrom talked about what makes Janikowski so special.
He's the fastest kid in the conference in football and maybe in any sport, and he's the fastest receiver we've played against, and so he's a really good ball player.
Second half, Florence up 14-13. William Kelly hits Dustin Williams on the slant for the touchdown. Florence goes ahead 20-13. The senior QB talked to us about the key score.
Well, they were sending blitzes on our base three all the time, and we knew that if we had a quick slant, that he would have gotten open, and as you seen, it got open and it hit.
Florence would step up on defense. They would get one more big stop. The Bobcats would go on to win this one 27-13. It was a big win for Florence. They take down the Blue Jays for the second time this season to advance. Here at Florence High School, I'm Drew Shelley, Newswatch 12.
What an awesome game. Those two teams have been battling all season long, and now the Bobcats are one game away from the state title. But what about those other teams? Well, in 8-man, Gilman took on Thorpe, and Thorpe pulled off the 24-20 upset win, taking down the #1 ranked team in the state for 8-man football. Spash, the last Division I team left in our area, is no longer after Kimberly takes them down 35-18. Auburndale and Coleman squared off, with Auburndale winning that one 33-22. We'll be right back after the break.
103.3 WGLX. Bob and Tom in the morning. And the best classic rock all day. 103.3 WGLX.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich. Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt. From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Nice.
Ring in the holiday season with the world-famous Vienna Boys Choir. Featuring traditional carols from around the world, as well as classical masterpieces, this concert is perfect for the entire family. Don't miss the legendary Vienna Boys Choir as they bring old world charm and Christmas in Vienna to you. Saturday, November 18th at the Grand Theater Wausau. Tickets at grandtheater.org.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Wausau Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our unique doctor-supervised program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back safely, naturally, and effectively. If you'd love to lose unhealthy fat without counting points or calories, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no HCG, no drugs, no hypnosis or surgery, call Wausau Weight Loss today at 715-203-8695.
Hi. I'm Carrie from Wittenberg. I lost over 100 pounds and 68 inches. I know the secret. Prior to starting this program, I suffered with chronic migraines, lots of joint aches and pains, didn't have the energy to be the mom that I needed to be. My energy level's back, my confidence is back. I would definitely recommend this program to anyone looking for a change.
For your free private weight loss consultation, call Wausau Weight Loss today at 715-203-8695.
Hey, Wausau. With 100,000 watts. WGLX rocks Wausau.
Every Friday is Fan Friday.
Wow.
Cash and prizes could be up for grabs. Watch to find out what you could win.
Weeknights at 6:30 on NBC 12.
Friday Night Blitz is brought to you by Rock Oil Refining Incorporated. Your blitz starts now.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. I'm Saul Meyer, and that is Will Harrelson. Will, we already saw how our game of the week played out with Florence winning to advance to the state semifinals for 8-man football. What about those 11-man teams?
Well, so you actually went to our featured matchup between Regis and Edgar. How'd that one turn out here today?
Well, last year, Regis blew out Edgar, 53-8 to eliminate them from the playoffs. Now Edgar has a shot at redemption. The Wildcats have looked dominant this year. They've only given up 14 points the entire season and are on an 8-game shutout streak. So will that dominance continue for Edgar, or will Regis stop the Wildcats for the second year in a row? First quarter, 4th down, and Carter Butt delivers a butt-whooping run right down the middle, running through the Regis defense for a 21-yard gain and a Wildcat first down. That set up a goal line run later that drive where Butt delivers from the 1-yard line to make it 6-0 Edgar. Next quarter, did we mention Edgar's defense is good? Well, Regis is trying a halfback pass, and that Wildcat defense picks it off at the 1-yard line, and Edgar is going to go on to win this thing 20-0, and the shutout streak improves to 9 games for the Wildcats.
Now let's head over to Stadium Stadium for a matchup between the Somerset Spartans and the GNC champs Mosinee. Here in the first quarter, after a Mosinee 3-and-out, Somerset's quarterback Kane Donnelly is going to keep it on the read option and sprints to the outside, and nobody is going to catch him as he scampers into the end zone and puts the Spartans up 8-0 thanks to a 2-point conversion. After another Mosinee 3-and-out, Somerset gets the ball back, and Donnelly is going to pitch this one on the option, but this one is off target and it hits the turf, and Jackson Lindell is there to recover the football for Mosinee. That ensuing drive, it's Mosinee. It's 1st and goal from the 4, and Gavin Obrensky calls his own number, takes this one into the end zone, making the ball game 8-7. It was an explosive offensive game for both teams, and thanks to some late game heroics, Somerset walks off Mosinee 42-40.
Now to Medford, where the Raiders hosted the Onalaska Hilltoppers. First quarter, Onalaska with a long drive to start the game. They cap it off with a 15-yard touchdown run here to Brady Coon. A few minutes later, Onalaska with the ball again, but this time the Raider D steps up. Carson Carbaugh with the TFL forces the Hilltoppers to punt, and that punt did not go according to plan. Low snap leads to a turnover on downs, setting up the Raiders in great field position. Second quarter, Medford facing 4th and long. You might think pass here, but no. Medford's Paxton Rothmeyer takes the outside handoff and powers his way into the end zone. But that's about all the offense the Raiders could muster in this one. Onalaska goes on to win it 35-16.
Now let's take a look at some other area scores. Amherst was able to hold off Wittenberg Burnham Woods 16-14 in a defensive battle. Stratford shut out Mondovi 21-0 to move that winning streak to 9 games in a row. And St. Croix Falls pulls off the massive upset of top-seeded Colby 22-6. What a bunch of great games we covered here tonight, Saul.
Absolutely, Will. The second week of the playoffs have wrapped up, and there are still 5 teams that are in our area that are still in that hunt for a state title.
We'll see if any of those teams can bring home some hardware for their school.
For sure, Will. Well, that's all the time we got tonight for the Friday Night Blitz. For Will Harrelson and Drew Celli out in Florence, I'm Saul Meyer. Thank y'all, and y'all watching at home. Have a great night.
Dear first place, how do you get to the top? Just keep on climbing. Yours, Tacoma.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new 2023 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
The next generation of streaming is here. Introducing Spectrum One Stream. With internet, advanced Wi-Fi, mobile, and now TV. With the all-new Xumo Stream Box. It's streaming simplified. Get Spectrum One Stream with fast and reliable internet for $49.99 a month. Free advanced Wi-Fi, a free unlimited mobile line, and a free Xumo Stream Box when you add Spectrum TV. Go to spectrum.com/stream, a Spectrum store, or call 833-976-4999.
Rock Oil Refining is looking for your business. We pick up and recycle used oil and other liquid and solid waste with our specialized collection trucks, making it convenient, affordable, and reliable for you. We're licensed, insured, and follow federal and state recycling regulations that work for the environment, not against it. Let our waste collection system work for you. We can come to pick it up or what option works best for you. To learn more about our collection and recycling services, visit rockoilrefining.com or call us today.
When you need a new roof or repair, remember, quality counts. Hi, I'm Paul, owner of Overhead Solutions. Listen, I've seen some shady roof operations, but I believe in honesty, hard work, and integrity. Our team is committed to providing you with a quality product at a fair price. So go ahead, call our competitors, but before you sign on that dotted line, call Overhead Solutions for a free estimate.
For asphalt, metal, rubber, or cedar roofs, call Overhead Solutions for a free roof estimate.
Find can't miss events in the North Woods on the event page at WJFW.com. Join Nate Myhawk Thursdays on Up North at 4 as he takes a look ahead at events happening this week in the North